Hello everybody, Gamemode here, and today I'm going to be talking about the newest adversary mode in GTA Online called Condemned. And this is a new adversary mode that was added in the same event week that added in the Vigilante, and it's essentially the Halloween update or the Halloween event for GTA Online. And this adversary mode is very much like what we've seen in the past couple years, where Rockstar usually adds in an adversary mode that is a bit more spooky, a bit more Halloween themed, and this game mode is very much like that. It's very similar to the game mode that came out last year, which was Lost vs. Damned, and then the year before that was Slasher. So it's a very dark game mode, and it even uses the same weather style that Lost vs. Damned had last year. However, with that adversary mode, it was kind of like only half of the match was using the special weather effect. The other half was whenever, it was light out and all that. With here, it is almost always dark, always raining, and always has this sort of pretty cool filter over it, which is something that definitely makes the adversary mode more themed towards Halloween. And essentially, the way it's played is at the start of the round, there is one person who is condemned, and he is essentially, it's going to be a 1v3, or one versus however many people are the non-condemned people, and essentially he'll get a shotgun and a couple marksman pistol rounds, and then everybody else only gets a couple marksman pistol rounds. The condemned person, whenever they are condemned, there is a timer. I'm not sure exactly how long the timer is, it may be a minute or somewhere around there, and after that goes down all the way, then you're kicked out of the game. And the way you stop being condemned is essentially to pass it on to somebody else by killing them. So you need to kill somebody who's not condemned, and it's a bit easier because every couple seconds the people who are not condemned will show up on your radar. So it makes it a bit easier to take them out, and you also do get a shotgun, whereas they don't have a shotgun. Basically, if you are condemned, you want to pass it on as quick as possible, and then whenever you are not condemned, you just want to hide or survive as long as possible. And once the timer of a condemned person goes out, they are kicked out of the game, and then whoever has the least amount of kills will become condemned after that. And so it's kind of an interesting adversary mode. However, in my opinion, it's not that great, especially whenever you compare it to the past Halloween adversary modes. However, in this adversary mode, I'm not really enjoying it too much. It can be a bit of fun at times, and I guess it does kind of fit the theme of Halloween, so it's not that bad if you are playing it around this time. There are many reasons why I don't like it. First off is there doesn't seem to be any reason or any system that tells you who's going to be the condemned person at the start of the round. I don't know how it works. Maybe there is a system, but it doesn't tell you. And to me, it just seems like it's just a random choice, or maybe it goes off of rank or something like that. But essentially, if you are first to be condemned, you are sort of at a disadvantage there. Also, another thing that's a bit strange, even though it doesn't really impact gameplay, is that you can turn on team balancing. Just kind of makes me feel like the game mode is a bit rushed, because why can you turn on team balancing whenever each team only has one person? What's the point of team balancing if that's the case? I'm pretty sure you can't have a team with more than one person, so it doesn't really matter. Another reason I don't like it is that it's only 4 players. I'm not a big fan of most of the 4-player adversary modes. At least give us 8 or maybe 16. Of course, I don't want it to not work with the adversary mode, but it's just a bit disappointing to see an adversary mode only with 4 people. It makes the game mode a little bit slower, but this game mode just doesn't have that much action. It seems, you only get a kill maybe every 30 seconds, somebody dies. But there's not that much action going on, which makes it a bit disappointing, and I feel like part of that is because it's only 4 players. Another thing I don't like about it is the weapons. I hate the marksman pistol. Not only is it so inconsistent, sometimes you get a kill with it in 1 shot, sometimes it takes 2. So honestly, I just don't really like the marksman pistol, and that's the only real weapon you get to defend yourself with. I guess you also get a knife, but if you run out of ammo in your marksman pistol, which is very easy to happen, because you only get 3 shots and then you can pick up some other ones. Honestly, this game mode does not reward you if you go on a kill streak, because you're gonna, shoot all your 3 marksman pistol shots, and then you have nothing else to defend yourself with except for a knife, which I guess could be used, but if they have a shotgun, most likely the Condemned are gonna kill you. And honestly, this game mode, while it is sometimes a bit of fun, it just doesn't have the suspense of past Halloween adversary modes, and it's honestly probably the most disappointing we've seen for Halloween adversary modes, because it's just not all that scary. Whenever you compare it to Slasher and Lost vs. Damned, those were a lot more fun, they had more action, and kept you intrigued throughout the entire match. Whenever you take a look at Lost vs. Damned, there was constant action, whether you only had a machete or if you had guns. You were either on the attack or on the defense. And it wasn't a perfect adversary mode by any stretch of the imagination. It was almost always lopsided into one team's favor. Whoever got, the guns first, which was just, whoever was on that team would almost always win because they got a head start. And also that game mode was kind of just plagued because auto-aim kind of ruins it. Melee is very difficult to actually get kills with in auto-aim. At least if you're going up somebody who's just a little bit aware of their surroundings. But I'd say even Lost vs. Damned was a lot better than this adversary mode. And also it kind of fit Halloween a lot better. Angels versus demons. Here it's just, and I guess it is a little bit spooky, but not all that much. Also, the outfits kind of don't make any sense. Like, you have some military people. It's not, like, really any theming towards it, which kind of sucks. And then there's Slasher, which, while it wasn't always constant action, it always was suspenseful. Especially whenever you were being hunted and you hear these footsteps, your controller starts vibrating whenever they get close. You have the music in the background. And it was always suspenseful. Even if it wasn't constant action, it was suspenseful. And then you compare that to here where, I guess there's a little bit of suspense, but not as much. And I feel like this game mode was just kind of rushed. I don't know. It's just not as good as some of the past adversary modes. Which, keep in mind they weren't perfect. I wouldn't say the Halloween adversary modes like Slasher or like Lost vs. Damned were necessarily perfect. But they were a whole lot better than this game mode. This game mode honestly just evolves into whoever is, surviving and whoever's not condemned, just camping all together and holding out a position while the condemned person tries to kill them. And it's just not that great of an adversary mode in my opinion. And even then, after all that, even whenever it's double money in RP, I wasn't making that much money off of it, so it's not really worth playing all that much. So that's about it for the Condemned adversary mode. It's not that great, at least in my opinion. And I think if I were to give this adversary mode a rating, essentially I'd call it certified garbage. That's what I'd call it, because it's just not that good. I just feel like it was a rushed adversary mode. Maybe that's not the case, maybe a lot of people love it, but in my opinion, it's just kind of frustrating and not that fun. So, anyways, leave your thoughts on this in the comments. Do you like the Condemned adversary mode in GTA Online? Do you not? And if you don't like it, what are some ways you think Rockstar could improve it? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments. Hope you all enjoyed. Feedback is always appreciated. I'll see you guys in the next video.